School too, and they got to pick pumpkins. Well, they didn't have to come to the farm to pick the pumpkins, but they picked the pumpkins with ForEverYongFarm too. So the tradition keeps on. So later on the way. But anyway, I would like to talk to you a little bit about pumpkins in general, and fruit in general, and plants in general. So plants are a different form of life than animals, right? There's animal life and there's also plant life. So this is what's left of a what? Pumpkin plant. All right, yes, this is a pumpkin plant. And so when we plant the seed of the pumpkin, where is it? Well, there's supposed to be roots. Oh, there they are. So we plant the seed in the ground and the seed starts to grow, and it grows up and it grows down, and it grows the root system. And what's the root system for? It's for it's to hold it in place and to keep the nutrients coming from the ground up into the plant so the plant can grow. And so then it starts growing and it vines out, and then it starts producing leaves. And what are the leaves for? What are leaves for? They're for energy. They're for getting energy to the plant, because the plant gets its energy from the sun. Yes. So this is how in the future in Arizona, because we have so much sun, we'll probably get a lot more of our energy from the sun. We'll try to do what plants do and get energy from the sun, because it's the best, easiest way for us, because we have so much sun. And so then it keeps growing and growing and vining and vining. And then all of a sudden, what starts appearing?
Pumpkin!
But first, before the pumpkin appears, then a flower appears on the plant. And that flower appears, and then bees will come and pollinate the flower. Okay, they'll get their nectar from the flower, and they'll pollinate the flower. And what happens after the flower is pollinated? Go ahead, anybody. Turns into a pumpkin. It starts to swell up, and it becomes like an egg, and then it gets bigger and bigger. And what color is it then?
Orange.
No, it's green at first. And then it grows and grows and grows, and it gets what color?
Orange.
And it gets orange, sure. And so here's the rest of the vine coming down, and here's the stem. The stem is like the umbilical cord, so that's kind of what makes the nutrients go in growing into the pumpkin. It comes all along the vine and into the stem. And what are these little guys called? These little vines. Those are called tendrils. And what do tendrils do? They kind of reach out and grab other things. And why do they want to grab other things? Go ahead, anybody.
More energy.
What? More energy? No, it's kind of more to hold the plant, to make it strong. Yeah, to hold it in place. Because then when big winds come or whatever, it's not going to blow the plant around and wreck the plant. The tendrils are kind of like arms to hold it in place. But they look really cool when they're dried up on a pumpkin. So then we have a full-grown pumpkin in October, just in time for Halloween. Okay, so let's take a look inside this pumpkin and see what's going on.
You're going to kill it? I'm going to kill it! Pumpkin! Look at that!
Okay, so that's the inside of the pumpkin, huh? So that's the skin. That's the skin on the outside. I'm holding it by the handle. And then this is the cavity, okay, the inside. And this is, okay, hang on everyone. And so this here, this is the meat of the pumpkin. What can you do with the meat of the pumpkin? You can eat it. It's like you can make pumpkin pie. This is what you make pumpkin pie out of, that meat right there. And then what is this? What is this stuff called? Seeds and guts, or Or brains, you could call it brains, because if you make a jack-o'-lantern out of it, it's like a brain, okay? So why are these seeds inside a pumpkin is a fruit, right? Because it's a sweet thing that contains seeds. And so why does the pumpkin plant make the fruit? Okay? The pumpkin plant makes the fruit because we like pumpkin pie. And animals like pumpkins too. They're very nutritious and good to eat. And they have lots of good nutrients. So when animals get fruit, they're also spreading the seeds so the pumpkin can reproduce. So that's how the pumpkin grows more pumpkins. Okay? When an animal eats this, it might spread the seeds all over the place, and then more pumpkins can grow. And so pumpkins are pretty smart to reproduce themselves like that, right? That's how they do it. Isn't that amazing? So all fruits are like that, okay? So if I take a bite of my apple here, I might just kind of throw it. There's seeds in that apple, right? So we might get an apple tree. If we get lots of rain next summer, that seed might sprout into an apple tree. And that's what fruits are for. The fruits are like pumpkins or apples or whatever. They're to reproduce that plant so it can grow more and have more next year. So the bees work with the pumpkins, okay? People work with the pumpkins, animals work with the pumpkins, and it all works together, okay? So, we're almost ready to go out to that pumpkin patch, okay? So this year, because of the grasshoppers,